In this video today, we're going to make this foiled sentiment on vellum using the WRMK Keeper's Foil Quill along with the ScanNCut DX cutting machine. Okay, we're going to start in the Inkscape program, and we'll come down here and select a text object. So we'll click on that. The font I want to use is Alex Brush, which you can download from the font website. And then I will just type in my sentiment that I'm going to use. Okay, so my sentiment is going to be I'll be home for Christmas. Now I want to change the spacing here. I'm going to change this to 0.8 so that it's not quite so big. And I'll come up here and select, and I'll come up to Path and Union, and then we'll do a File, Save As, and you want to make sure that you save it as plain SVG and not an Inkscape SVG. And so I'll call this one, I'll Be Home for Christmas. And I'm going to replace it because I already saved it. Okay, and now we're at the Brother CanvasWorkspace program on the PC. And we're going to select SVG right here. And we are going to browse to where we save the SVG from Inkscape. And here it is, I'll Be Home for Christmas. And so we'll open it. Let's select it. We want to come up to Layer and Unlock All, just so that we can move it out of the way. We want to come over here and select the Properties, and we want to change this into a draw file. And so now we come up to Edit, and this is where we can say how big we want it to be. I would like this to be about 2 inches wide. And so that's going to be 2 inches by 1.25. And I like this the way it is, so I think I'm pretty much ready. And so we're going to come up to File, and we will transfer the FCM file via the internet. And now we will go to the ScanNCut and print out our sentiment. Okay, and to write our sentiment, we're going to use the WRMK Keeper's Foil Quill set. And this comes with 3 different foiling quills, and I'm going to use the middle size one, which is the normal size. It also comes with adapters for your different cutting machines. Since I've got a ScanNCut, I'm using the Brother one. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I have a WRMK Keeper's battery bank here, and so I'm going to plug this in, and when I plug it in, the light turns on, indicating that this is warming up. And I am going to let this now warm up for 5 minutes. This tip here is going to be very, very hot. It's going to get very, very hot. So I'm going to want to put this in something that's safe and will keep it from burning me or other things while it's warming up. Okay, so I've got a pretty thick glass bowl here that I'm just going to put this in. And then I'm just going to stick it out of the way while it warms up so that I can set everything else up. Okay, I've got my cutting mat, and I'm going to use the Foil Quill magnetic cutting mat. And so I'm just going to take the magnetic mat, and I am going to just put it on my cutting mat. And then I've got some tape here that I will use to tape this onto my mat. Okay, and I have a small piece of vellum here, and I'll put it at the 1-inch by 1 inch position right here. And I have some gold foil here that I bought from Amazon. This was pretty cheap. I'm just going to cut off a little piece here. Okay, and I'm going to take a little bit of micropore tape to hold the vellum into place. Okay, now the switch that's at the side here of my Scan and Cut, I'm going to put this up into the 2 position. So it was down in the 1 and I'm putting it up into the 2. And I am going to load my mat. Okay, and I'm going to retrieve the data from the internet. And there's our sentiment. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan in the background. Okay, and now I am going to place this sentiment in the middle of the vellum there, just like that. Okay, now I'll put the foil on top of the vellum. And the foil has the shiny or the good side facing up, and I'll use the magnets that came with the magnetic mat to hold the foil into place, or I'll use some of the washi tape that came with the foil quill for the side where the magnets are too long. And I'm going to take out my blade. This has been heating now, and so I'm going to put the foil quill in, and so it goes in this way. You just push it all the way down and lock it into place. Click OK. And we are going to draw and start. Okay, the first thing I'll do is I'll remove my heated foil quill and put it in its bucket there. And here is our foiled sentiment. And here is our foiled sentiment on vellum, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!